Ah, well, um, yeah, I pretty much got on here, like the title says. Just wanted to let people know. Counselors that I've been talking to said I should write an autobiography. And then one of the church pastors said I should write an autobiography because of some of the stuff I've been through. And so I decided I would start that. Um, the way I'm doing it right now is I wanted to do the last 3 years. So what I'm going to be writing about right now is mostly everything that's happened in the past 3 years. But I'm debating, like, do I write it in sections, like from recent times till the past, and then redo it all in chronicle order? Or should I just do sections like that and release them in sections to the public, or should I wait till they're done? So I don't know. I might do snippets of the year, and everyone's pretty happy about it. Yeah, the ACMs have been giving out some awards ahead of. I don't know how to explain it. Like do snippets of sections of each section. Ella Langley got new female artist. Just snippets of each section, basically, but we'll see. But last year at the over the past 3 years, I've learned a lot. Every single year. I wasn't expecting to get into a relationship, but she initiated it in 2022, and I learned things from past relationships and stuff, and so I learned to be intentional, and I learned a lot. It's actually done some good. Even the hurt in this relationship has done some good. But it does make me think, like, why don't people know how to love? So I will tell you right now, don't be with somebody if you don't know how to love people. Love is not a feeling, it is a commitment. Quit playing with people. If you're willing to, like, good music, gotta. All these avenues, doing everything to think about you. As long as I stay on my fun, they decided to hear the signs. You don't let it cross my mind. As soon as I get out here on the outskirts, I wish I was running by your side. Sorry, I got interrupted by the radio. Anyway, that's what I'm feeling. Some of these songs that come on, I'm just feeling it. Part of the reason why I'm scared to get in a relationship is because people don't know how to love. And through the past few years, I've learned a few things, been training, certified peer review specialist now. But my number one counselor is God. I've got counselors and church pastors and leaders I talk to, the church congregation, church friends. But our true counselor is God. It really is. And with this person, she's an amazing person. But sometimes people don't listen to their heart because they want to be seen a certain way. They want to be, you know, I don't understand that personally. To some people, I might not be well liked or appreciated. Why? Because I'm authentic. And I will no longer say like I'm the real, because there are so many people that misuse that. Real people might sometimes, be more alone than anybody else in the world. People that are truly authentic will be alone in the world a lot of the times. But I'll tell you one thing: if you're truly authentic and you live authentically, you'll be more happy alone than you will with in a crowd. Most people that like to be in a crowd are as fake as they can be. And the truth is, people that are constantly helping people, sometimes it's because they have traumas. I know, because I used to help everybody in the world. Like, hey, you need, a ride? I'm gonna hop in my car. I'm gonna come pick you up. I'm gonna give you a ride where you want to go. Okay, let's go there. You need a soda from McDonald's or a coffee from Starbucks. Okay, I'm gonna get it and take care of you. And then I started using discernment. I started learning from my mistakes. Like, that's not what they need always. You know, we still fall for a pretty face and somebody who seems like they're real. A laugh, a smile, whatever it is, flirty ambition. I think there was an accident. I'm not 100% sure yet. But anyway, that didn't sound good. Uh, yeah, I'm just sitting here waiting, and I figured I'd hop on live because I was at Starbucks and trying to type up some stuff, and their internet was so terrible. I drank my Starbucks and ate my breakfast and decided I'm not gonna sit on my computer and type this up on this internet that is so bad. So, but anyway, the internet on my phone is definitely better than some of these coffee shops. Like, but as I was saying, see, I'm very ADHD too. And as I was saying, I feel bad because she's an amazing person. And I truly believe she has an amazing heart. She's scared. She won't tell her friends or her family the truth. And, I have every text message and every Facebook message to prove that too. So when she tells people certain things, I have everything to back up what I say is the truth. Or I'm not going to speak it. Bottom line, I have no reason to lie. And she hears what she wants to hear. I mean, truthfully, she has trauma, and I don't want to speak bad about her because she's not a bad person. But she has a lot of healing to do, and I could have helped her with it, but she seems to ignore the help when people want to help her. I had church people try to talk to her, and she wanted nothing to do with that. Classic denial. And then I was thinking maybe she's narcissist. And the truth is, I don't think she's like really narcissists. I'm like looking at that still, but I will say she is definitely what they consider in counseling a dismissive avoidant. So she avoids things. Like there was a situation that she had at her work that she avoided it until it almost got her in trouble, but she finally got it taken care of. And it's like there are ways to do things in life. Okay, if you are going to be a dismissive avoidant your whole life, you will never be successful. So, I've been successful in a lot of things, and my problem is I love people too much, and that can affect success too. It really can. But it also, you can be successful a lot easier if you love people too much than avoiding the issues. Because I don't avoid the issues. Sometimes I press the issues until they're too much of a problem. See, the problem with me is I'm too honest. I tell the truth too much, and I don't care if people don't like it that I tell the truth. I'm going to speak my life story and I'm going to write it down. I'm going through some things where I'm going to be noting like all the legal documentation of it and all that before anything gets spread in the stories. But I have like documentation to prove my documentation and all that. So like with her mom thinks one thing, but if her mom ever seen all my text and all the messages that she sent me, I guarantee that her thoughts would be over like instantly. So, but there's also a reason, like I said some things that I wish I wouldn't have said right away. And I've been right about everything that, and she's like, oh, you're not right about that. So let's talk about Christmas time of 2023. I said, you know, what's going on with Christmas? And she's like, oh, we're going to reschedule that till after New Year's. And then she said, oh, I'm going to go to my dad's and just do Christmas with my dad. And then we're going to have, after New Year's, we're going to have Christmas. And I said, that won't happen. She goes, what do you mean? She goes, we got it all planned out, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I know when something's not going to happen, or if you're lying, or both. All my predictions have came true. And then I decided, well, I'd quote the Bible because it does say to do that. And I was quoting a quote about, why you should separate your feelings from your parents and what it means. It doesn't mean you cut your parents off in your life. People get things wrong all the time, but you're not in a relationship with your parents. So you are supposed to do stuff with the people you're in a relationship as far as holidays and stuff too. Now, I didn't say exclude her parents. That was her doing. But she took it as an attack on her. And I'm like, no, I'm trying to say that opposite. It's an attack on me. But she tended to twist it. And I'm confused still because, like, I give people the benefit of the doubt of them being a good person. And maybe I'm reading into this wrong. And maybe as good as I think she is, she's not. Because she's definitely not being honest with herself. She's definitely not being honest with her friends. And she's definitely 150% not being honest with her parents. I have proof that she's lying to all of them. And then she feeds people stories. It's not for me to call her out, but I just figured I might as well on the video, and I shouldn't have. But anyway, the video is mostly about my life, but I've been through some crap, man. I've been through some crap. And when I loved her the best anybody could, beyond a shadow of a doubt, I can honestly, truthfully, 100% in my heart say that. Not many people can do that. I mean, and be real about it. So I just wanted to say, I didn't make this up. I didn't make anything up. Just like she says, that I made it up, that she said that she wanted to start over. I'm like, I got that in writing from her on paper. Yeah, I don't understand people. You can lie all you want, but when I have more proof to prove that you're lying, yet I don't, and I was constantly like trying to tell her in a nice way that she was lying. Like, there's a book called God is the Issue that she really needs to read. It would change her life. She has past trauma she's holding on to so hard that she doesn't need to, because of her depression and all that. To the advocates injury attorneys at advocateslaw.com. I don't even know what to do anymore. I want to save everybody, but I'm gonna write about it. I need help with like editing, because that's what's gonna take a long time. I'm going through this. This is gonna take a long time, and I was trying to think like how to do this, because I'm gonna do the last 3 years. It's mostly about one person, but it's not only about one person. It's about a lot of stuff that's happened, but a lot of stuff revolved a lot of one person, but it's not just one person. So, I'm just trying to figure out, what do you guys recommend in doing and writing autobiography, getting the facts straight, getting like all the things done, editing and all that? You know, I have nothing to lie about, for one, so I can prove anything that I say, but I want to be careful when I write it down in writing and publish it, that like I need to find a way to like have people check it for me, and I don't know what to do on that yet. So, yeah. But I know that my story is going to affect a lot of people. I'm just wondering, should I do it story by story? If you're watching this and you have some information about it, should I release it story for story? Or should I release it like in my whole life until 2025? So let me know. Like, I'm mostly trying to recap the last 3 years, and then I'm going to go back, until 2020, and then go back to 2017. And I'm going to address the issues of trauma that I've had in my life and what I've been through, with corrupt family, my cousins, my dad, everything I've been through in my life. The one family member I've had on my side the whole time in my life is my cousin Ryan. Other than that, as far as living relatives, I don't think I've had one family that has had my side the whole time except for Ryan. I'm just saying. I don't think there's a lot of my family that hasn't had my mom's back. You know, it's pretty sad what people do to their relatives. I would never do that to anybody. Matter of fact, I would never do a lot of the things that people have done to me to other people, period. And people wonder why I'm so strong and I still deal with it. I don't even know. Part of it is I'm an overthinker. The pain hurts. And when the pain hurts, you overthink it, contemplate it, rerun it in your head, think, what did I do here? What did I do wrong there? What did I do wrong here? And you like rerun all these things out in your head. So, there is a specific chapter in my autobiography of some of my prophecies, specifically prophecies to pastors that I've had in my past, in past churches. One of the things I want to say is when, like, Pastor John Bishop, he was at Living Hope Church. And, you know, I've seen when the rise and fall of Pastor John Bishop. And I remember one day I was at church and Pastor John Bishop, I was like, hey, he was walking up the aisle at where the Kmart building is. And I seen him walking down the aisle and I tapped him on the shoulder and I said, hey, I need to pray for you right now. And he's like, what is it, Jason? What is it? And I said, there are demons on you and we need to rebuke them in Jesus' name. Pastor John Bishop looks at me and says, I don't know what you're talking about, Jason. You are crazy. You are crazy. Not long after that, Pastor John Bishop gets all the things where he gets arrested and all that stuff. I seen that before it happened. I talked to John before that happened. Matter of fact, Courtney, friend of mine that was going to Puerto Vallarta, he's at the airport, calls me up and says, hey, guess who's going to Mexico? Shortly after I said that to John. And it's like, you can see demons in the real world. I've warned 3 pastors now that their church is going to be gone. And if they don't wake up and listen to the demons around them, every single one of them fell. I've warned other Christians that they're not talking to God, they're talking to the devil. That's been proven true also, and I could name instances. And I'm going to write this stuff down in my journey and explain it to people and have verified people you could verify it with. I've been through some stuff, I'm telling you. And I'm going to tell you, there's a recent person leading a small group that his group's going to fall too, and it's not going to be good. And all I'm going to say is he leads a group on Monday nights in Hazeldale in a place that people are following God. Not the God of the Bible, but the God of this world, the devil. And that's what people need to realize the difference between God and the devil. And I'm not talking about anybody that's in my church. It's a different leader. And he's trying to do things out of clout and money. He's not listening to God. Period. I don't even know if he is saved, to tell you the truth. But he leads a small group and he's getting dangerous to the fire. And just like the other 3 pastors, he's getting to that point where the devil's going to suck him in, chew him up, and spit him out. I'm just saying. But he has nothing to do with my church. and he doesn't go to my church, but that's all I'm gonna say. Peace, guys. Love you. We'll talk soon. But if you are on here and can answer any of the questions I said, how I should do this, if you want to meet up with me and talk, any of that, my journey that I got into is to try to help people out. That's why I got into the peer support and all that. So love y'all. Bye.